Hi you all, this is Rosa bringing you Deer Families, a docuseries dedicated to the study and observation of the wild white-tailed deer that live in the rapidly developing town my home is in. This is Lana, a mother deer, who is battling corn toxicity. As you can see, her hip bones, her eye bones, her ribs, her backbone are all showing. And a week ago, they weren't. She looks like this right now, not from old age. She's a young doe who just had twins. She looks like this because she had GI stasis for a week after eating corn. She was not able to process any food because her gut was full of corn that someone gave her. Ella and Everest right there are her 1-year-old twins that are following her, and she has newborn twins as well. This is one of her newborn twins right here. She wasn't able to process food for an entire week. Her gut was basically frozen. Her newborns are just 2 months old and she is still nursing them. Corn toxicity stops their ability to process food, and they usually die within 72 hours from it because it throws their pH balance off and poisons them. Before she ingested a lot of corn that someone gave her just a week ago, you were not able to see her hip bones or her backbone or her eye bones. She was a very vibrant, healthy young doe, and because she wasn't able to process food and she's been continuously nursing her babies, she has basically had to eat through her muscle. I don't think she can produce as much milk as they need, so she's been bringing them to my house to get fresh grapes and fresh carrots, which are healthy for deer. She is still nursing them somehow, which shows how strong she is. The fact that she's got 2 newborns she needs to nurse, and that she was very healthy and strong and larger than most does to begin with is why she's still alive. It's not uncommon in my neighborhood for people to give deer corn because there is a local grocery store that sells bags of corn labeled deer corn. Here's her other twin going to meet each other here in the lot next to my house. So the local grocery store sells bags of corn labeled deer corn, and I've done other videos on this because her sister Shay died from the same thing and left her baby Ethan in 2020 orphaned. Lana adopted Ethan, raised him, and now 2 years later Lana's come across deer corn that somebody gave her, and she didn't die, but she's very near death. I'm praying, since she didn't die within 72 hours, which has been documented to commonly happen, there is a chance she can recover. When deer get corn toxicity, they often come to my back door for carrot and grape snacks. I offer them apples, but the only things they will eat is carrot and grapes, and I think it's because carrots are very high in fiber, which helps get their digestive system back in balance, and the grapes have fiber in their skin plus lots of hydration, which they become very dehydrated when they get corn toxicity. I leave lots of fresh water out for them and they drink lots of fresh water, If they don't ingest too much all at once, they can recover from corn toxicity, but they have very watery poo for days. I was watching Lana for a week since she's ingested the corn, and she had no poo, no diarrhea, anything. She had GI stasis, which is common when herbivores eat something they can't digest. Their digestive system shuts down and it normally kills them. But Lana took lots of carrots and grapes, drank lots of water, and it had begun over the last day to wake up her digestive system, and she has begun to start having diarrhea, but at very small amounts at a time. There's just so much corn in her gut. It's taking a very long time to get working again and to remove all the corn. So just wanted to share her story with you all. I've been witnessing her basically starve to death and be in agonizing pain. She had a lot of mucus discharge from her eyes, nose, and mouth. That is their body's reaction to being poisoned. The discharge has finally slowed down. She barely has enough energy to walk to my door each day to get carrots and grapes. But each time she does, I give her as much as she'll eat, and she drinks as much water as she can. And I'm just praying she can bounce back. It's disheartening that stores sell bags with that label. The bags of corn labeled deer corn are not a very high quality grade of corn. They're a lower quality grade, lower than what wholesalers sell to farmers. Pet stores also sell it for small animals like rabbits that are herbivores, and it's not healthy for them either. It can also cause GI stasis in rabbits, and rabbits can die overnight as well from ingesting corn. But all the major retailers like PetSmart and Petco offer corn for rabbits too. It's also disheartening that people are misled by the label on that bag, deer corn. So people are being misled by companies who are looking to make a profit. Animals are getting poisoned, and it's very sad to see, especially a mother deer, get poisoned when she is in the middle of nursing two young twins, like Lana's two twins. They're hungry when they shouldn't be. They had a very healthy mother, and all of a sudden she's near death. Within days, her health flip-flopped. Her body weight decreased extremely fast. Within days, she lost 40% of her body weight. She is a walking skeleton now. Mother deer need to have really good health, because not only do they have to nurse their baby for months throughout the summer, but they also have to protect them from predators like coyotes. And if you check out my link below in the video description, you'll see a mother deer protecting her babies from coyotes in the same Central Texas area. She was healthy when she gave birth, and now she is so deathly ill. It is cruel to put an animal in that position, and unnatural, where they are deathly ill when they need to be protecting and nursing their child. There are substitute foods they could sell instead that are safe for deer, and if you look in my video's description, there's a website that shows alternate bags. Complex carbs like bread, corn, chips can kill them very, very quickly or cause them extreme pain and suffering. I just wanted to share Lana and her twin stories, who are right in front of us. As you can see, they're pretty thin because they're not getting the full nutrition they would get if their mother wasn't being poisoned. I've been working really hard to keep my home stocked with carrots and grapes to help them get through this period, and I hope it makes a difference. I think it helped Lana go to the bathroom the last day, and I hope it continues. to help her heal and get her digestive system working again. I have 2 house rabbits that are seniors, and for the 10 years I've had them, I have been cautious to not give them any foods that were not recommended by the veterinarian. It's not a bad idea to call your state's wildlife department and learn about their wildlife feeding laws and get tips on safe foods to feed them if you do plan to feed them. Lana is a very special animal who is full of love and an amazing mother, and it would be wonderful if she had enough energy to give that love to her 2 babies. Once again, this is a recent picture of Lana before she had her twin babies. And this is what Lana looks like now. She is very anorexic. And that's because someone in this neighborhood has been leaving out a lot of corn, and she's been eating it. I haven't found who's been doing it. As you can tell, she's had to burn up most of her muscle, because when deer eat corn, what happens is she's gone into the next door neighbor's yard. What happens is it blocks their digestive system and keeps them from getting any nutrition, and also keeps them from being able to go to the bathroom. Usually after deer ingest a lot of corn like she has been doing, they die. This is one of Lana's newborns that she hasn't been able to nurse because she's been too close to death to even produce the milk to nurse her newborn. She's also not able to defend them, and she's been relying on the support of her herd. Since Lana is no longer around, I'm sharing pictures of her children. That's River from previous years. They've been sticking by her side since she's been that ill. And the bigger bucks, who were her brothers and uncles, have been sticking by her side. Here's some of her other family members sitting in the shade. She is suffering from severe corn toxicity, and mucus is coming out of her nose and her eyes and her mouth, and she is losing weight rapidly from it. Just like dogs who get into a garbage can over and over again, even though it makes them sick, deer will go back and eat more of the corn if it's still left out, because it's in their instincts to scavenge, and they don't understand that that corn that they're eating is processed, and it is not a natural food source for them, and if they ingest it in the large quantities that's left out, it will block their digestive system, and the chances that they will survive depend on how much they eat at a time. Unfortunately, I live in a state that does not have any laws that prevent feeding wildlife corn. They are familiar with the issue, but they do not have any laws. Many states do have laws that prevent people from feeding wildlife due to this very reason. They oftentimes give them foods that kill them, and it's a very painful and unnatural death. I hope that one day the sellers of these products that you can find in your local grocery store or pet store will have to disclose on their package that it can kill the animal, or even better, that they are prevented from selling foods that kill animals. So if you all see this, please keep Lana in your prayers. I don't know if she has any chance of overcoming corn, because I have seen her get seriously ill with corn toxicity every other day. She is just barely hanging on to life. And it's because someone is continuously putting bulk corn out for her to eat. her baby Everest, who's 1, and one of her newborns also came down with corn toxicity, but they didn't ingest enough, and they are not continually going back to eat it, so they've already recovered. But they had the same problem as her: GI stasis, mucus coming out of their eyes, their nose, and their mouth, and diarrhea. Sadly, I've seen other members of her family die from corn toxicity over the years. This is plaguing wildlife over and over again because people are unaware and there are no laws to protect wildlife from being fed food that kills them here in Texas. So it's real important to look into what foods are safe for any animal before giving it to an animal, and what feeding methods prevent the spread of disease. One month of eating corn has caused Lana to starve nearly to death. Just 4 weeks ago, she was a vibrant, very filled out young mother, and corn has caused her to have internal damage to her digestive system and keep her from processing food and getting nutrients. And she is now very thin because her body has had to burn off muscle in order to survive. Her family members, her brothers, her uncles, her teenage children have stuck around her as she's been battling corn toxicity and have been protecting her from coyote attacks. Usually young mothers like Lana can fight off coyotes, but due to losing all her strength, she has relied on the strength of her family to protect her and her newborns. Here we have Lana's 2.5-month-old babies. And we have her 2-year-old River over there. And they are now without a mother because Lana was sick with corn toxicity for a month, and she did not overcome her battle with corn toxicity. She ingested so much corn that it did severe damage to her intestines, and she starved to death. Her internal damage prevented her from getting any nutrition. They are going to have a very challenging childhood without their mother, and I hope they survive. They run off into the forest. And now it's up to their extended family to protect them. These are their older cousins, uncles, and brothers. It's scientifically known, but it's not widely known, that corn causes fatal illness in deer. The neighboring people have been feeding them corn. And we've had numerous deaths. Oftentimes it is the mother deer that die because they're extra hungry due to nursing, and they will ingest more, and the more they ingest, the less chance they have to survive it. So please share this and get the word out that corn does kill deer, and please keep Lana's surviving babies in your prayers. Hopefully they will be able to survive their youth without their mother. This is Lana's 2-year-old River. His cousins are standing behind him. These are Lana's 2-month-olds. They're twins.